We spend billions, literally billions, on cybersecurity. We build these massive digital firewalls and buy the most complex software imaginable. But what if the biggest security flaw, the ultimate security flaw, isn't digital at all? It all starts with this number, $2.5 million. Just gone. Poof. Vanished from the bank account of an organization you'd think would be completely locked down. And look, the victim here wasn't some small shop or, an unsuspecting person clicking a bad link. We're talking about a global institution, a huge name with a massive budget and a reputation to protect. So how on earth did they lose that much money? Okay, now this is the part that gets me. The whole thing wasn't brought down by some super sophisticated malware or a genius hacker finding a secret backdoor. No. The entire heist was pulled off with something that probably landed in your own inbox. I don't know, 5 times today? So let's get right into it. This is the story of the $2.5 million email. And yeah, how the International Cricket Council, the ICC, got completely tricked. Let's just break down how this went down. The method? A classic phishing scam. A cybercriminal over in the US basically just pretended to be a regular ICC vendor. They sent a fake invoice straight to the chief financial officer, but here is the absolutely wild part. It worked. Not just once. It worked 4 separate times before anyone at their Dubai headquarters even had a clue the money was missing. 4 times. So how does something like this even happen, right? Let's take a look under the hood. We're going to dissect the playbook for this kind of modern-day fraud.
At the very heart of this whole thing is phishing. And you have to understand, phishing is a game of deception. It's not about technical skill. Cybercriminals they put on a digital costume, pretending to be someone you know and trust, and then they just ask for what they want. And it's one of the most common scams for one simple reason. It works.
The process that fooled the ICC was frankly terrifyingly simple. Step 1, pretend to be someone they trust. Step 2, send a fake bill. Step 3, and this is the most important part, exploit a weak internal process where that payment gets rubber stamped without anyone doing the proper checks. And step 4? Well, if it works once, why not do it again and again and again? And this is where the story gets so much bigger because this one incident, it really opens up a much larger conversation. We always want to frame these things as technology failures, but maybe we're just looking in the completely wrong place. I mean, really think about it. Was the email the problem? Or was it the human system that failed to handle it properly? This isn't a new problem. It's a pattern that you see echoed in some of the biggest financial train wrecks in modern history. Take this quote from Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Chase. He wasn't talking about a phishing scam. He was describing the absolute internal meltdown that led to a mind-boggling $9 billion trading loss back in 2012. And those words, flawed, poorly executed, poorly monitored, they sound kind of familiar, don't they? And this is where it all just clicks into place. On the surface, these two disasters look nothing alike. One's an external cyber attack. The other is an internal trading blunder. One's digital trickery. The other is super complex financial products. But when you strip away all the noise, you find the exact same DNA at the core, a total failure of process and oversight. This isn't a fluke. It's not just a coincidence. It's part of a huge and incredibly expensive pattern of disasters that were totally preventable. I mean, just look at this list of massive trading losses. JP Morgan in 2012 losing $9 billion. Societe Generale in 2008 over $7 billion. You can go all the way back to Barings Bank in 1995 losing over $1 billion. We're talking about staggering amounts of money just evaporating. So what's the common thread here? It wasn't some criminal mastermind or a lone genius outsmarting everybody. Nope. These disasters were enabled by broken systems, by warnings that were ignored, rules that weren't enforced, and just a fundamental breakdown of supervision. JP Morgan's own investigation after their loss tells the whole story. Their controls were outdated. Their risk management was, and I'm quoting here, ineffective. People were literally hiding information from regulators. See, this isn't a tech problem. It's a culture and process problem, through and through. And it is not just one bank. If you look at disciplinary actions from FINRA, the financial industry's own watchdog, you see the same story over and over again. Widespread supervisory failures. Firms just straight up ignoring obvious red flags. It's a systemic issue. Which brings us to the final and most important part of this. If all the systems and all the tech have these massive blind spots, what's our actual last line of defense?
Because the threats, they never stop evolving. They just change their costume. The same old problems, fraud, weak processes, are now popping up in the newest place you can imagine: cryptocurrency and digital assets. Take a look at this recent crypto fraud case. Yeah, sure, the tech let the scammers move and mix the money instantly, which made it super hard to trace. But what was the real failure that let the crime happen in the first place? Well, according to the court, the crypto exchange failed to follow its own anti-money laundering policies. Sound familiar? It's the exact same pattern, just with a shiny new tech wrapper.
So, here it is, the big takeaway from all of this. It doesn't matter if the weapon of choice is a fake invoice, a ridiculously complex financial derivative, or a crypto wallet. The ultimate vulnerability, the thing that keeps failing, isn't the technology. It's the human process that's supposed to be controlling it.
Which leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. In this world of amazing, ever-advancing technology, we are obsessed with building higher digital walls. But maybe, just maybe, we should be asking ourselves, is our strongest, most expensive technology completely useless without our sharpest human judgment to back it up?